Welcome, my fellow parents. Hey, let's grow our toolbox. Let's do some good work. Let's learn about ourselves and learn about our kids in the world's most important job, the science of parenting. 7 psychology secrets every parent should know. So today we're going to do something really interesting. We're going to look into some science and some facts. Jordan, why do you think so many parents like us nowadays, we're kind of so intrigued and like we care about what the science says?
Probably, I mean, that's tough. So I was just having this conversation with my wife the other day where we came home, first time we were parents, we had twins. We were on our way home from the hospital. They're in the back seat, right? And we look at each other, we laugh. We're like, I can't believe they let us leave the hospital with these things. Like, how did anybody let us go home with a human being that we know nothing about, right? And so I think for all of us parents, we all are in the blind. We're like in a blind spot. Like we literally don't know what's going on. We look at those parents. Oh, they seem to have their act together. They seem to know what they're doing. Oh, that parent over there, that was a good job. They did great. And we think everybody really knows how to parent. But I think deep down, all of us are like, we don't know what we're doing, but the scientists know what they're doing. So now we can lean to the blanket of science and maybe think, okay, well, at least these doctors know what they're doing. So let me read up on this and hopefully I can get it right because the doctors say that it's right.
Yeah, but are they always right? Do we always have to do exactly what the research says? What if it doesn't feel right to us?
That's the million-dollar question. Yeah, what if deep down our, little intuition is saying, no, that's wrong? Then we have a battle with this security blanket, and then it can get very difficult. That question right there has torn apart marriages. Well, the doctor says this. Yeah, but I don't feel right about this. I don't want my child going through this. Well, then you're a terrible parent. You're a terrible, right?
So true. All this information has caused problems. That is so true. I think I've caused problems. Can you imagine how many times someone has sent my videos, my podcast, or our podcast to somebody, and then they end up arguing about it? I like to just focus on the positive. The positive, this is it's a cool time to be a parent. I mean, parenting books have been around for decades, but you have so many great podcasts, you have social media, you have so many resources to really up your game. And I think the most important thing that we have is our generation. A lot of us, we have a growth mindset to parenting. It's like, I don't have it all figured out. I want to do the best I can. I don't want to screw up my kids. I don't want to be better than my parent. And so I think you're going to love today's episode, everybody, because we've got 7 really important, really good facts, science-based research facts that I think you're going to be able to put these into your home today. And when I say science, I just want to let you know, I'm not going to bore you or nerd out on this came from a research report in 2021.
Right.
Just trust me.
We've done those before.
This is from people named Casey and Steinberg and a lot of seagulls. There's some Wincott, Mueller, Dweck is in here. The Gottmans are in here. So this is all good stuff. Are you ready to dive into it? Because the first one I think is really, really, really good. You ready for this?
And just so everybody knows,
whether you got a 2-year-old,
I was just going to say, the 7 psychological secrets every parent should know. The key word there is every parent should know. There's some stuff on here that I didn't realize. I mean, I think looking at them oh, yeah, that makes sense. But it's not like I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew that. I know all of these. So I'm kind of learning with you.
I'm learning too, man. There's just so much to know, right? This is why it's such a fun thing to learn about parenting. And just thank you so much for those of you that listen to this podcast. We have listeners all around the country in 122 countries. And it's just such an honor being in your life. So thank you so much. Check this out. This really makes sense whether you got a 2-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 17-year-old. Children co-regulate before they self-regulate. Let me explain.
Yeah, break that down for us.
They co-regulate before they self-regulate. So co-regulation means they're able to connect with a parent, to calm and soothe themselves before they can do it on their own. So check this out. All right. The fact is that what this is saying is pretty bold. Children cannot calm down until we calm down. It's not a metaphor. It's neuroscience. So especially younger kids, age 7 and under, they don't have this wiring in their brain yet, especially in their prefrontal cortex, to regulate these big emotions on their own. So they need help. This shouldn't come as any surprise to us. They need help eating their food, cutting their food, wiping their butts. They need help between understanding germs. They need help getting dressed. Sometimes it's too much. So when your 4-year-old is melting down, And you're like, hey, calm down, calm down. That's going to work as good as a husband telling his wife, hey, calm down, woman, calm down. It's not going to work. It's actually asking someone to swim like while they're drowning. It's like teaching someone, hey, let me teach you how to swim. I'm drowning here.
Right.
It's like teaching someone how to calm down while they're in the middle of trench warfare. It's like their body cannot start calming down until something good happens, until the adult comes and they're able to match your energy. Your calmness becomes their calmness. That doesn't mean we're just tolerating this or like letting it go on. It means you're a leader and you lead them through this connection and this emotional safety. What do you think about this first science fact?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. The hard part, though, is like us parents, we almost need to self-regulate. Sometimes we co-regulate just as much as the kids do before we self-regulate. So what you're trying to say is like our kids react off of us and they need that calm, collective, cool parent. But Sean, how am I supposed to stay calm, cool, and collected when they're having a meltdown? It's making me have a meltdown.
I got a tip for you. We're not going to concentrate on a lot of tips on this episode, but here's a great tip. I've been teaching this to a lot of people inside my membership. Here's the short version. Tell me if you like this, okay? Think of your 3 kids, Jordan. How many times do you think it happens in the last few days where your kids are actually there physically? And they might even be talking to you, but they're really not there. They're not there. They're not there, man. They're in a different spot, and they're not really interested in listening to you.
Well, I mean, that happens to me all the time. I'll have things on my mind from work, and my spouse will be talking to me, and what did you just say? I literally did not hear what you just said. Yeah.
So that happens to us as adults. This is what happens with a lot with emotional kids. So what do you do? Well, here's a tip. Just realize.
You say, look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
That might get them to connect with you. It might not, but it's like it might make them afraid of you. I don't know, but here's the tip. Like realizing that your kids are physically there a lot, but that doesn't mean they're actually there. They're not really connected. And so the more you get aggressive, the more you cave, the more you people please, the more you threaten them, that's not actually co-regulating with them. Yeah. It makes things worse. Wow. I'm trying to make your life easier.
Good.
So children co-regulate before they self-regulate kind of means like, hey, you got to just regulate yourself and just be patient and let them come in and connect with you. That's my action step. I hope that helps.
Dude, I love it. That was fantastic. And this kind of goes into step number 2 here, or topic number 2. You know the saying, misery loves company, right? It's like, oh, that person's always a Debbie Downer, and then they just attract other Debbie Downers. And I apologize to anybody whose name's Debbie. That's got to be the worst. It's like, my name is used for this terrible thing.
Debbie and Karen. Karen, Karen, if your name's Karen. Are you a Karen?
Or Nancy, or a negative Nancy, right? It's
like negative Nancy.
Terms. Yeah,
right.
We have these terms.
Right, yeah.
But it's so true. And so our moods as parents can be contagious, right? And it can be contagious for our kids. So have you ever been in a situation, Sean? Let me give you an example. I had this coworker one time when I was working in Seattle, and it was brutal. You could feel the negative energy in the room. And I don't know why that is. People say that. You know how they're like, oh, that person's got a good aura about them, and they're just so nice, and I can see it's a green color or whatever. But this was so negative. I try to break the ice, and it was just not happening, right? And so you could literally feel the mood of that person right as I walked in. So that's not like fluff or voodoo. That actually happens. So what it's called is it's mirror neurons at work. Children especially they're sensitive to this. So their brains are wired to where they can scan their caregivers, their parents, their aunties, their uncles, their grandmas, their grandpas, and they can see how they're feeling, right? And they can often catch that mood of the adult faster than they can, let's say, catch a cold. And so they can be reactive off of this. This is from the science. All right, so if you're anxious, if I'm anxious, this is crazy. If parents are anxious, if we're short-tempered, if we're distracted, our children can pick up on that, right? Or let me get to you dads out there, right? Your dads out there that are married. Have you ever done something and you get home and you probably shouldn't have done whatever that is, and immediately your spouse is like, "Where were you?" And something's off, and you're like, "How the freak does she know this?" It's that feeling, right? It's like there's something that actually is contagious about this, and it really is reflected with our kids. So on the flip side of that, if you're grounded, if you're like what Sean is saying, if you're calm, collected, you're patient, that can get absorbed into your children. It can get absorbed into their behavior, and then that'll ultimately help craft a better human being. Just because, what do they say? They say kids are like sponges, right? They absorb everything that we're giving out. And so this would be something that we want to be mindful of.
I really don't know what to say right now. I'm kind of like, my mind is blown right now. Like,
have you ever been in a situation where you're talking to some parents and you can tell, man, I could tell why the kid is acting like this because you guys are all wound up. You guys are all
the time.
And you have to like kind of be like, you guys need to like take a chill pill.
It's tough, yeah. That's a nuance of my work, of just trying to invite parents to look at themselves, because they don't sometimes want to look at themselves. In a good way, I'm kind of speechless right now, and I just want to think about myself, and I just want to be quiet and shut up, and I want to listen to this podcast, not talk, because what you just said was so deep. You just said a parent's mood is contagious. It's so true. It's just to hear that, it's just like it's kind of like a slap in the face. And I want to make it a good slap. Like, wake up, Sean. Like, realizing this is it. Like, how you choose to look at your life, it's soaking up. And I actually have something good to say next. On our notes that we're looking at, Jordan, I'm going to move note number 5 to number 3. So science, number 3. Science-based a secret every parent should know. Because I feel like we need some hope right now. We need something good.
Yeah.
You're going to love this.
Okay.
Number 3, the science tells us you don't have to be a perfect parent, just a good enough one. Okay, so everyone take a deep breath.
That's the truth. That's
everyone
good.
Take a deep breath and smile. Hope is here.
Because we all want to be perfect, but we don't have to be.
Right. Especially after we hear something so freaking daunting and haunting. Yeah. And other things that ends in ing, depressing. Like, our mood is contagious. That's like, I don't know, man. That hit us. So here's some really good news. Let's counteract that. Psychologist Donald Winnicott introduced this powerful idea of the good enough parent. His research showed that kids do not need perfect parenting. Yay! Here's what they need. They need consistent, loving, and real parenting. Here's the kicker. When a parent messes up and then does something good, they repair the relationship, right? By apologizing, reconnecting, showing empathy, good listening skills. The child actually becomes more emotionally secure.
Oh.
Yes. This makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So the child is growing in security and in emotional intelligence, not from perfect parenting, but it's actually from imperfect parenting and just being good enough.
Yeah.
He continues by saying, why does this work? Well, because they're learning relationships can withstand imperfection. They'll learn how to repair conflict, how to forgive, how to take personal responsibility. And they know that, hey, when you blow it, and you will as a parent, don't panic. Slow down. Reconnect. The moment of repair might be the most powerful teaching moment of the day. Yay! We're just going to be good enough. That's all I'm trying to do here.
It sounds like all we have to do is be consistent, right? And we just need to be there, I think, right? And we just need to be intentional. And I think with those, we can have our flaws, but if we have those solid core staples, then the security blanket that we're trying to provide our kids as being good parents, they will have that. They will have that. But like, at least they were there. At least we had this. At least, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully,
can I get your opinion? I want to get your opinion on something. Okay.
Sure.
I have I need someone from outside of me to give me an opinion on this short story. I have a family member who I love very dearly, who, when this family member was a child and a teenager, went through some very serious trauma and was hurt. And then went into adulthood and was hurt by more adults. And so this family member's parenting style is like they're a great parent and they have great kids. But I believe that it's fair to say that part of their parenting style, Jordan, is to remove any type of pain, any type of problems, any type of dysfunctional family members, remove them from the kid's life. And the theory is like, I don't have time for this. I don't want my kids to grow up around weird people, and I don't want them to get traumatized. I just don't got patience for that. Like, I want my kids to be happy, healthy kids. And so I'm just like kicking out all these weird people from my kid's life. And I don't care. I want my kids to be happy and healthy. What do you think about that?
Okay. I mean, I think that's what a parent's job is. It's to look at potential negative impacts and somewhat shelter them from that. I mean, listen, we're not going to throw the world at our kids when they're 2, 3, and 4 years old. It's a scary, daunting place. It's our job to protect them. There's everybody knows who listens to this podcast that I love movies, and there's a line in Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey, and he's talking to Anne Hathaway about something about his daughter Murphy, about why he had to go and search for other worlds because their world was dying. And he's like, my job is to protect my child and let her know that everything's going to be okay and that she's safe.
Yeah.
When the reality is, this world is not safe, but we have to give them that security as much as we can. So I think that reality that you just painted is a wise one because you don't want to. I mean, I think as they get older, you can introduce the whys as why you've chosen to do that. And then when they get to be an adult, they can make their own decisions. That's like saying, like, let's say you have an adopted child and the parents are kind of, the actual biological parents are crazy. And you tell your kids, like, hey, we adopt you because your parents, and you protect, you don't give them everything at once, but as they get older, you tell them a little more. And then as they get to be an adult, they can go seek their biological parents if they want. You don't want to be the one sheltering them forever from that. But I think initially it's important for us to keep the crazies or what we think might be super bad for them.
One follow-up question. Do you think that a parent's desire to be perfect or over desire to protect their children could be a trauma response?
Yes, 100%. And so I think it's even as a parent, you sometimes have to ask advice from other people like you're doing right now. So if I'm a parent and I'm doing something, I might ask a friend, a neighbor, a family member, like, hey, I've decided this. What do you think? Am I being too controlling? And that's the wisdom of parenting. And that's one of the reasons why it's so great to have two parents, because then you can have two different backgrounds coming up to a decision than just one.
Yeah. I love what you said, man. I love what you said. So much wisdom in what you said. And I hope you all can just nestle down in your chair a little bit to knowing that you don't have to be a good parent. Just a good enough one. What's number 4 science-based fact, Jordan?
All right. It's all about motivation and how we can make or break motivation depending on how we praise our kids. We talked about it. I think we just talked about it last week, right?
I love this one.
You love this one. It's
love this one.
Us telling our kids, you're so smart, the science says can actually lower motivation. Now, I get where the science is coming from because it's a beautiful praise, right? Gosh, you got straight A's, or oh my gosh, you got your report card. Look how well you did. You're so smart. You're so great. Yeah. That's a great praise, but it can make kids afraid to now take risks. Well, if I do this bad and I get a bad grade, oh my gosh, now I'm going to fail my parents, right? Maybe I'm not actually smart. But then, as Sean always says, you got to praise the effort. You're so smart. I'm so proud of the way you worked so hard to learn all of your spelling words to get an A on this test. It took you a lot of effort, and you freaking rocked that. So now you're praising the effort of becoming smart, not just becoming smart. And so that gives us what you call, or what they, science call the growth mindset.
Yeah. This is kind of prickly to say. It's a little like a cactus. It might sting a little bit. But it's like if you've got a teenager, who's really struggling with motivation, struggling with growth mindset, struggling with grit, they just give up. You might want to check yourself and ask yourself, how have I been talking to this kid about their brain, about failure, about pushing themselves? And you might want to recalibrate how you think about this, because the science says that the way you praise can break or break motivation. All right, how about the next one? All right, this one should make sense, especially if you're in my VIP membership. You see me just talk about this a lot and just overpower you and over-educate you at times with how to really get through to your child, how to get them to be on your page, how to get them to do anything you want them to do. So here's the next science-based fact. Teen brains are wired for emotion, not logic. And I'd be willing to say the tween brain and the teen brain. So let's talk about them for a second, all right? So many parents think things like, hey, you should know better by now. Or, hey, haven't you ever thought about this? If you don't do this, then this is not going to happen. It's like, obviously, I need to do this for you because in the real world, this is the way it's going to work. So you try to approach your kid with logic. Just ask yourself for a second, how's that going for you? How's that working for you?
Well, that's specifically targeted to dads because the male brain is triggered to logic-based thinking. It's like, how could you not think of what your actions were going to do? Like, you do this, obviously you're going to cause harm. Well,
Good.
You're right. They don't think about that in the moment.
It's obvious. If you're going to act like a jerk when we're driving the car, that's what's going to happen. Duh. See, you're just trying to use logic to get through to you. But we got an issue here. This is why it's good and helpful to understand to be the best parent you can be. Let's talk about science. So they got this brain. Prefrontal cortex is part of the brain that's responsible for impulse control, long-term planning, rational thinking. We already know, old news, not developed until age 25. Meanwhile, the amygdala, which I don't know how to say, amygdala, right, which handle emotion responses. Good news here. Good news. This is online, and it's often the key to helping your kid to process. It's through the emotion, everybody. So this is why your teenager is going to make like impulsive decisions, mood swings, and they're going to resist your lectures. So they're going to do impulsive things, and they're going to resist your lectures. Why? Well, because they're very emotional beings, and they don't want to listen to the 5 reasons. Go ahead.
But we need to teach them the logic side so that they can actually understand that every decision they make has implications. So how are we supposed to teach these, and especially into our teens, like every decision you make has a reaction. If you do this, then this will happen. You speed, you're going to get a ticket. You steal, you get arrested.
Right.
You
so give me an example.
Drink with your friend. Okay.
I'll give you an example right now. Give me a scenario.
Okay.
Whether it be, let's go speeding ticket, or you want to do drinking, or you want to do not empty the dishwasher. What do you want?
Okay, let's do this. I am a 14-year-old girl, and I am trying to date a 16-year-old boy who has his license.
Oh,
geez. Okay, all right.
Jeez.
And he's hanging with all his friends,
and
I'm included.
This is juicy.
And they decide to go street racing in the back roads of San Diego.
Gosh.
And they're racing vehicles.
Oh, this is getting personal. Hold on here.
Okay.
Hold on.
And you
Jordan
are
from San Diego, so this is getting personal. Is this a true story?
Yeah, this is Danny's story. And you're a 14-year-old girl with Kenny Smith, by the way. Sorry to name drop.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's the one. They were street racing. I think Ross may have been there, or Matt Gallagher. I can't remember.
Oh, but anyway, we're dropping names.
Yeah, they get ready and they get arrested because they were speeding down Old Pomerado Road and they were race car driving.
Oh my gosh.
So
San Diego has a big street racing scene. Yes, please continue.
So how do you teach, like, hey, what you do has implications? You get caught in a situation.
All right. What a great example. He just brought up a real life example from his wife who's in her 40s or maybe about to turn 40.
Yeah.
All the way back to when she was 16. How do we parent that? All right, so here's what we don't do. What type of logic would not work with this 16-year-old
What were you
girl?
thinking? I can't believe all of that. The shaming, right? The just the shock of the parenting, like getting a phone call and having to pick up their daughter or their son who got in trouble for doing something so silly.
Obviously, I'm not going to let you do this, daughter. Obviously, you're going to be in trouble. Obviously, you're going to get punished. Obviously, that's a bad choice. Right? Obviously, there's logic here, and you're not using logic. That's not how you get through to a teenager is what we're trying to get through today on 7 Psychology Secrets. So, honey, were you scared at all when you were out there? Were you scared? Pretend to be her.
That.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I was terrified. We were going really fast, and I
Right.
kept saying slow down, and they wouldn't slow down.
Oh my gosh, how did that feel? The boys weren't listening to you. How did that feel?
No, they were crazy. I felt, like we could have gotten a wreck. It could have been really bad.
Was any of your girlfriends with you?
Yeah, but they were in the other car.
How do you think they were feeling?
We just couldn't believe it after we got pulled over.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh.
What did they
We're in
say?
so much trouble. We were just like, we're in so much trouble.
Oh, so okay, you were afraid of getting in trouble by me or by the police?
Both, but yeah, by you guys. By parents.
Gosh, so scary. Well, like, before you got in the car, were you thinking like they might, drive 80 miles per hour?
No, I had no idea.
Oh, you weren't thinking, huh?
No.
Why not? Why weren't you thinking?
Well, it's not like they decided, hey, this is what we're going to go do. They were just like, hey, let's go drive around, and we were just driving
Oh
around.
my gosh, teenage boys are such idiots, aren't they? Gosh.
That's good.
And like, I know these kids. These are good kids, but even good kids are idiots sometimes. Were you thinking about me or this family or like at all?
In the moment?
When you got,
No, I was just in the moment. No, I wasn't thinking about anything other than what we were
makes
doing.
sense. I'm so glad you're telling me this. What do you think I'm feeling right now, honey?
I can imagine you are very upset and disappointed.
I think I am, but I'm feeling something deeper than that. I'm feeling grateful that you're telling me about it. You know that we're close like that you trust me. So thank you. I'm feeling
Really?
so scared.
Yeah,
I could have lost you.
I was scared too.
I'm feeling angry. Really.
I understand that.
I'm feeling rage. At you and at them. Like I want to kill these boys right now. I want to murder them. I do. Because I love you. You're my girl. And I know these boys. But I know that they weren't thinking either.
I'm assuming I'm grounded.
I don't know. I'm just glad we're talking about this. Because it's just so scary, Like, it's just hard. I'm trying to remember what it's like to be a teenager. You don't always think before you act. It must be fun hanging out with these boys, driving with them. It must have been so fun. Was it kind of fun?
I mean, it's fun because they're older and they have cars and we can drive,
That makes sense.
And yeah, I like hanging out with them. They're
Yeah.
they treat
So
me right. They're good.
it's
They're
probably
good
going to
kids.
happen again, right? Where you're going to be invited to get into a car with older boys, and who knows what the hell's going to go on, right? And it's probably going to happen again. It's happened to me. I used to be one of those boys. That's why I know them so well. I was that boy. I've driven fast with girls in my car and did some stupid stuff when I was your age. So it's probably going to happen again. You're going to be tempted and invited to get into a car with a teenage boy. Do you think that's going to happen again?
No, because I'm not going to let that happen again.
I think it's going to happen. I think we should talk about what are you going to do next time.
I'll just say no, I guess. I don't know. How am I supposed to manage that if I'm caught in a situation in the moment and I don't feel comfortable? Do I just get
Right.
out and they leave me there?
And they didn't even listen to you this time. You said
Right.
slow down, and they just
Right.
laughed it away because that's what freaking teen boys do. Are
Yeah.
you gonna tell them how upset you are or how scared you are? Are you gonna let them know, like, this can never happen again? My dad wants to kill you. Are you gonna tell them this stuff? She's gonna say no.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
She's
know.
gonna say no.
She's going to say no.
I don't know. Let's stop this little role playing. I think we can go on and on.
That was good, though, because you're
I thought-
connecting before you're
Would you-
correcting.
Yeah, you were amazing, man. You were amazing.
You were too.
I
You were
went
saying
to a
stuff that
different
I would have
place,
never
man.
done that.
I
Yeah,
just went to
would
a
have
different
never.
planet, dog. Let's talk. What were you thinking? You go first. I'm just coming off what happened to you?
I was shocked at your maturity at parenting to where, like, as the kid in me, I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad's not even mad. And then he throws out he's going to murder someone. Oh, dang, maybe he is mad. But now he's laughing at it. Is he really mad? I don't know if he's mad. You know, because you could also go with the silent treatment. You don't talk to her the whole way home. You don't talk to her the next day. You're so mad, right? It's like, oh my gosh, my dad is so mad. He won't even look at me. But the
I
way
think
you
what I
did
did
it,
was
you
healthy
connect.
there.
Me
'Cause
too.
I was being honest with my emotions, but like in an inviting way. Like, I'm very emotional here, but you can
Yeah.
handle this. And I'm going to talk to you in a way where I'm not going to scare you, but I'm going to let you know what's going on inside of me right now.
Yeah. I mean, is that a situation where we have to almost like, you know, some parents would be like, you will never see that boy again. You know, you're never to see him again. I forbid you
That's
from seeing that
logic.
boy again.
That's a
right?
logical consequence. And this is exactly why we're doing this episode. That's logic. It would make logical
Yeah.
sense. That's a consequence. And do you
Right.
think that's going to go well? Do you think she's going to be like, okay, I will respect your boundaries.
Right.
I will honor your decision. I will not argue
Right.
with you. Like, that's not happening. And if you were to do that, you'd just be so parenting in the heat of the moment. You know what I mean? You want your kids
Yeah.
to talk to you. You got to use that skill I just did right there. It's about connecting with her on a deeply emotional level, because that's why she did this. She knows better. She knows this wasn't safe, but that's teenagers. That's kids. They do
Right.
things because it feels good, not because
Yeah.
there's logic behind it. So if you want to get her to not do that again, you got to meet her where she's at and where her brain is at. You got to help her get emotionally prepared for this.
So good.
Because it will happen again. You know it will.
Yes, it will. Yeah, 100%.
And it did. It did.
And if it won't happen then, it could happen in college. It could happen any time. Dude, I remember in college, I jumped in the back of some dude's car during spring break. I didn't even know who the dude was. It was like, oh, come on, we're on the back. Okay, I don't know you. I'll jump in. And I mean, it was so dumb.
My
So
buddy
dumb.
Oscar and I, we went to Vegas after our freshman year of college, and we did New Year's in Vegas. And we met up with these cats, and they were drinking, and they had pretty girls. Before you know it, we're in a car with a drunk driver in Las Vegas, and he's probably drunk driving. I'm like, what the hell have I done? It's
Yeah.
the best case for me to not do that is not from some cheesy poster from freshman health class, not from watching a documentary. The best chances for me to do that would be through parenting that I didn't receive. I didn't receive
And the
that
way
parenting.
But the way you just did it was so wise. It's almost like us as kids, we would then live our lives on behalf of someone else. I'm going to make my decisions on behalf of my
Right.
dad or my mom or my parents
Right.
because I don't want to hurt them. And I know
Right.
they have my best interests in play.
Dude, this is super X-rated, but there was a girl in that car, and we had just met. So very, and we went back
You don't
to
have
this.
to give all the details.
We went back to this place.
Okay.
Right? We went back to this place.
Yeah.
And I could have had unprotected sex with this girl, right? Age 19, unprotected sex, Las Vegas.
Sure.
What stays in Vegas, what happens in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah.
And if I did, can you imagine the consequences that could have happened to both of us? Right?
That's why they call it Sin City, brother. Yep. People have those consequences
Can you
all the time.
Imagine, let's say that I got into a drunk driving accident, and
yeah.
I wouldn't be on this podcast right now, you know?
Yeah. It could be
Instead,
so much worse.
thank God we were safe in the car, and I did not have unprotected sex or anything with that woman, that 19-year-old woman, and we just went to sleep, and I made good choices that night, and now here we are.
Nice. Good job.
And that's just life, you know? It's like
That
we're
is
trying
life.
to get our kids emotionally prepared for those moments because they are going to happen.
They're going to happen.
You know what I mean?
And I know there's the freak accidents where some kids, they only get that one moment, and that one moment turns south, and that's the only chance they got. So you have to be grateful for
Yeah.
the kids and us who've gone through
Yeah.
those moments, and we
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
we didn't have the ultimate,
Right.
consequence. We were able to learn from
Yeah.
those mistakes. And so we're just trying to teach that because it's like, we only get one life, man. This is
Yeah.
it. You know,
This is it.
and one decision can literally break that. We don't want to scare you to not ever doing anything, but we just want you to be wise. Next topic.
I can't move on to the next topic. I have to say two things.
Okay.
I can't move on because that was
Okay.
just so deep what you said. If I did make a bad decision if I made lots of bad decisions that night, or if something bad did happen to me, it would not have been my parents' fault. And it would be sad and wrong for the parents to shame themselves for my actions. So if you feel like your child is making bad choices or has made a bad choice, or you lost a child, or your child is struggling with X, Y, and Z, you shaming themselves is not right, and it's not true, and it's not scientific. It's not good. So if what we just said really triggered you or hurt you, don't beat yourself up over your child's bad decisions. We all make our own choices. Second point, I hate it. I freaking hate it when I see social media stuff and there's a viral video that I just saw this morning and it says something like this: your kids are watching you and they're going to copy you. No, they're not. That's not always true. Like, your kids are on their own journey, and if your kid has struggles or problems, it's not because of you. You know what I mean? It's not like we're not creating mini-me's here. And so don't make videos like that. Don't watch videos like that. And when you see a stupid video that's like, you know what, your kids are going to copy everything you do, so you better be perfect. Like, scroll past that stupid video.
Yeah. Thank you. That is good. And especially for those parents that feel like it's their fault that X, Y, or Z happened. Because you're right. I mean, they are their own individuals, and we're just trying to do what we can. I mentioned something earlier. I said what we're trying to do is connect with our kids so that our kids will basically make decisions based on us because they want us to feel proud. They don't want us to get hurt, right? I made decisions when I was a kid because I knew I couldn't do this or my mom would be upset, or I didn't want to disappoint my dad. So sometimes I'd make decisions not on what I wanted, but based off of them. So number 6 here, this topic says, secure attachment predicts life success more than IQ or grades. So one of the most powerful findings in developmental psychology is children who form a secure attachment within even one caregiver, an uncle, a godmother, an actual parental figure, a grandpa. You're constantly warm, responsive, emotionally available. These kids are more likely to thrive in life, not just emotionally. They do better academically. They have better relationships with others. They show greater resistance and even have better health outcomes later in life. Because you're
crazy
so
deep
good.
what you're saying.
It's
this is
so
crazy
good.
deep, everyone.
It is.
This is incredibly deep. You're telling me, let's break it down. You're telling me that if I want my kid to be super successful, it's not about putting them in Qumran so they get an A in math.
Right.
It's not about making sure they go to Harvard or UC Berkeley or Stanford. You're telling me.
Yeah. Academics
is this what you're telling me? That having them be securely attached to me in a healthy connection with me in a healthy home predicts their life success greater than their IQ or their grades? Do you see that this is like life-changing information that Jordan's telling us?
Yeah, they call it the serve and return relationship. A child serves an emotional cue. The adult returns it with presence and care. So ultimately, you don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be a therapist, a perfect disciplinarian. You don't got to be Sean Donahue. You just need to be you, a steady person that your child knows that they can count on.
Let's pick like some highly controversial characters real quick who have very high IQs. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. These three men have a lot in common. Putting you on the spot, what do they have in common?
They're all billionaires. One's working on becoming the first trillionaire. They have big multi-million-dollar companies. Yeah. They are involved with tech industry.
Okay,
They're
there's something
brainiacs.
else they all have in common.
They're smart.
They've all been divorced.
They've all been divorced.
Do
they all have
in their
kids?
Life, yeah, they do. The women in their life,
kids, okay.
The ex-women in their life, they don't like them. Which means they all have children who all have a mother who despises the husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not like a well thought out example, these three men, but let's just assume that these three billionaires are highly business geniuses, but they're also like causing pain in the world through their children in a sense, right? because it's hard having a co-parent, and having a mother who doesn't like their father. You with me? Am I getting weird here, or are you with me?
No, I'm with you.
So I think the moral of the story is, yes, it's good to push your kids with their IQ, with their grades, with their academics. That's good. But you really want to have a successful kid. Well, just work on yourself and being a loving example, being a good, wise example, being a secure, attached example, and teach them things about relationships, about marriage, about people, about good, healthy friendships, about managing your alcohol, managing your screens, about managing your ego. And that is going to create a really successful, because you could make the example, you could actually make the argument that those 3 men are actually not successful men.
That's what I was just going to say. I was going to say, what is the ultimate goal of life? Is it to make all the money and be alone and be hated and not have fun? Or is it to skirt by but enjoy life every day and be healthy and have a loving family? It depends how you look. But I mean, everybody would want the latter. Everybody would want to be happy over anything and have time and have grandkids and, and be with the people you love.
What's amazing is that we have people listening to this right now, and they're extremely wealthy. They're extremely wealthy. Not because they have money in the bank, though. They have a different form of wealth, right?
Right.
And so maybe no one's ever told you, my fellow parent, good job. You're wealthy.
Yeah.
Your kids love you. They like you. They're learning from you. You're their mentor. And you may not have a lot of zeros in the bank, but you're extremely wealthy. So congratulations.
Right. That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
I wish we need more people to say that, because we're always looking to those who we think is quote unquote wealthy. Like, man, they've got the life. But I've never had someone be like, man, actually I have. My dad has said, he's like, you've created an awesome life for yourself. And it's like, wow, you sit back and you're like, man, I really have. That's really cool.
Yeah, so celebrate that. Celebrate what is the definition of success? Does Jeff Bezos or the zeros you have in your account define your success? Or is it like, you know what? Here's what success is for me. I'm just, we did it, man. We did it. There's a little recap, okay? Here we go. The science of parenting. Here are 7 psychology secrets every parent should know. Listen in. This is really deep, really good stuff. Number 1, children co-regulate before they self-regulate. Okay. You want to have a kid who is able to calm themselves down, realize they need your help. They need your example. They need your leadership to help them co-regulate, and then they're going to learn from you. Number 2, this is so deep. Okay. A parent's mood is contagious. Yes,
ain't that the
science has proven that your mood, whether it be a really good mood, a grateful mood, a positive mood, or a Debbie Downer, an Eeyore mood, it has been proven to be contagion upon your littles in your house. Number 3, time ins work better than timeouts.
Okay.
So spend time connecting with that child. Heart talk, rather than casting them away. Number 4, the way you praise your kid, the way you talk about them, their successes, their failures, the way you praise can make or break motivation. So if you've got a teenager who's struggling with motivation, you might need to check yourself and saying, how am I talking to this kid? How do I build grit and self-esteem and that work ethic in your kid? Well, how you talk to them really matters. All right, number 5.
Okay.
This is great news. You don't have to be a perfect parent, just a good enough one.
Dude,
good
I
enough.
Love this one. This is so
it's
good.
It's a great one. Yes, the
so
science
great.
has showed. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to lose it. You're going to say and do weird things. Hey, welcome to the club. Well, the science says they don't need you to be perfect. In fact, your imperfections is good. Show them your human side. Great. Show them your loving side. Show them your realness.
Okay.
Apologize. Show them your confusion. Show them they're real. That is really, really good news. Number 6, the teen brain. The teen brain is wired, and tween brain is wired for emotion, not logic. So stop giving them these stupid lectures, these speeches. Stop trying to be their therapist and overanalyze them. Instead, help them see the emotion behind their choices. Help them see how it impacts the family. Help them see feelings. Help them process their own impulses. Help them get in touch with the emotional side of life. And number 7, It's really great news. You want to raise a successful kid? Here's what the science says. It's not about their grades. It's not about their colleges. It's not about their IQ. It's about something else. What is it about? This is so crazy. Secure attachment predicts life success. You want to hear more? Check out this podcast we have for you. Re-listen to it. Enjoy it. Thanks for letting us be in this podcast. Re-listen to this again. Thank you so much, everyone. If you do enjoy this podcast, do us a favor. Go and rate us on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you enjoy this podcast. If you want to go deeper with me, you know where to find us on the VIP membership or on my website. Jordan, science is cool. You're a great dad. I love you. I love being in your life. Thanks for today, man.
Thank you.